Hey coin lovers! Welcome back to Old Charles, your favorite spot for exploring rare and vintage coins from around the world. Today, we're diving into the world of Australian currency, specifically the 1969 20-cent coin from Australia. Is it rare? Is it valuable? Let's find out. First things first, a little history. The Australian 20-cent coin was first introduced in 1966 when Australia transitioned from the pound system to the decimal system. This coin replaced the florin and became a staple in Aussie pockets. The 1969 version of this coin features the same iconic platypus design on the reverse, created by artist Stuart Devlin. It's one of the most beloved and unique designs in the Australian coin series. On the obverse, you'll find the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by Arnold Machin. This was the standard portrait for Australian coins in the late 60s and early 70s. On the reverse, that famous platypus gliding through the water, a symbol of Australia's unique wildlife and national identity. Alright collectors, let's get into the mintage. In 1969, the Royal Australian Mint produced a total of 14 million of these 20-cent coins. That's not an incredibly high number, especially when compared to later years. So yes, the 1969 version is relatively scarce, particularly in uncirculated condition. If you've got a 1969 Australian 20-cent coin in circulated condition, its value is typically around $1 to $3 AUD, more than face value, but not a fortune. However, if you have one in uncirculated condition, or even better, a proof coin, you could be looking at $25 to $60 AUD, or more depending on the grade. Collectors also look for errors, like off-center strikes or double dies. These can fetch much higher prices, so always inspect your coin carefully. Well, it's not ultra-rare like some other coins, but it is becoming harder to find in high-grade condition. If you've got one tucked away in a drawer, it's time to dig it out and check. Absolutely. Here's the detailed history of the 1969 Australia 20-cent coin, perfect for use in your YouTube video or as a standalone segment. Australia had just undergone a major monetary transformation. On February 14, 1966, the country officially switched from the old pound system to a decimal currency system, introducing dollars and cents to replace shillings and pence. This was one of the biggest economic changes in Australia's history. With this shift, the 20-cent coin was introduced as the decimal equivalent of the old florin, which was worth 2 shillings or 1/10 of a pound. The new 20-cent coin retained a similar size and weight to help with the transition. The design chosen for this coin is now iconic. The reverse side features the Australian platypus swimming through stylized water, an artwork created by the famous designer Stuart Devlin, who also designed many other Australian coins during the decimal rollout. Meanwhile, the obverse side displays a portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by Arnold Machin. This portrait was used on Australian coins from 1966 up until the mid-1980s. In that year, Australia was continuing to adapt to its new currency system. The Royal Australian Mint in Canberra produced around 14 million 20-cent coins in 1969, which sounds like a lot, but it was much lower than some other years, making this year's issue a bit more desirable among collectors today. The coins were made from copper-nickel, 75% copper and 25% nickel, weighed 11.31 grams, and measured 28.52 mm in diameter. The same specs used for 20-cent coins even today, while the 1969 coin doesn't have any major design changes or known varieties. It still holds historical significance as part of the early decimal coinage era in Australia. And as time goes on, well-preserved coins from this period are becoming harder to find, especially in uncirculated condition. Great! Here's a detailed breakdown of the different conditions of the 1969 Australia 20-cent coin and how each condition affects its collector value. This is perfect for including in your YouTube video under a section like Condition and Value Guide. When it comes to coin collecting, condition is everything. The same 1969 20-cent coin can be worth just a little over face value, or many times more, depending on its grade or condition. Let's go through the main condition types you should know. These coins were used in everyday transactions. They typically show wear and tear, like scratches, faded details, and dull luster. Worn Queen's portrait, weak details on the platypus, rim damage, and overall surface wear. These coins have never been used in circulation and still have their original mint luster. They may have minor contact marks from the minting or packaging process, but no real wear. Look for *crisp details, shiny surface, and no flat spots or wear. Value, 2025 $25 to $60 AUD or even more if the coin is well preserved. Uncirculated coins are often found in collector rolls, sets, or stored in protective holders right after minting. These coins are made specifically for collectors, not for general use. They're struck using special dies and polished blanks, giving them an ultra-shiny, mirror-like finish with frosted details. Over $100 AUD if very clean with perfect strikes. A graded 1969 20-cent coin in mint state 67, MS67, or higher is extremely rare and highly desirable to serious collectors. If you spot any minting errors like off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or double die details, that coin could be worth significantly more. Some errors have sold $150 AUD or more, depending on the rarity and visual appeal. So remember, the better the condition, the better the value. If you've got a 1969 20-cent coin, take a close look at its surface, shine, and details. You could be holding something far more valuable than you think.